So I know that a lot of sites not only have this criteria for setting up the people who are together, but they also offer advice for the people who are getting together. In other words, how to act on your first date, what not to do. Specifically, and I guess a subsection of this question is, where would you take a geek on a first date other than, say, the normal things like dinner and a movie? Like, do you say, hey, great places to take your date or geeks, like Space and Science Museum? In other words, do you offer that kind of advice? And second to that is, where might be someplace different for geeks to take a geek?
Well, I'm a big fan of gaming.
Okay.
That's what I would highly recommend.
An all-night risk marathon.
Gaming group. Our site, Soul Geek, we have the second Saturday of every month at the Galaxy of Comics comic book shop here in the Valley. We have a Soul Geek Singles game night.
Wow.
And we have folks from all over the Southland come. We've gotten a lot of couples together there. We have a slew of games. People bring their own games. We have video games, card games, board games, role-playing games. People show up and just play on into the night. And like I said, a lot of couples have been made there. So
that's fantastic. So you actually create the environment for the, not to necessarily go out to play. Here's a place we've actually created for you, where everybody sort of speaks your language, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, it's terrific because it takes the onus off of most of your date single situations where you're sitting there awkwardly not knowing what to say. I'm going to be wallflower guy or wallflower gal and just stand there hoping someone will notice or talk to me, or they've all crowded around that person. But here, if you're all sitting around playing Star Trek Monopoly, it's just a great way to make a connection. And lately, because we've been doing this for about 6 months now, lately we've actually had couples come back who they met each other, and now they just keep coming back as a regular thing every month.
So they met there and became a couple, and now they like the club and the grouping so much that they just come back to enjoy. Sort of like Lost Fez or NeverEndingPanel.com.
There you go. On the homepage of Soul Geek, you can find a link to it.
Okay.
There, right on the homepage for that. So.
And that's right up there, I believe. Yeah. Ed.
You said a place to bring a geek date, and I was thinking tongue-in-cheek, Velosphus.
Right, well, there's apparently more than one place. Hair.
That's right. This was a long time ago, but there was this girl that I started talking to, and why I started talking to her is because I was petting her seeing eye dog. And when we started getting good enough friends, first thing I asked her to go to, change of habit, bookstore. I asked a blind girl to go to Change of Habit bookstore. It never dawned on me.
So what you're saying is you didn't see eye to eye.
Connect up again later until she tried to get me involved with her cousin. And what did I do? I said, well, Dangerous Visions bookstore is just down the street.
Well, Hare, the good news is there's a site for people like you. Okay, speaking of which, by the way, okay, go ahead, you had a question.
Yes.
No, I do promise to show up to one of those. It's just every time I make the plan to go, something else is scheduled opposite it. Sorry.
Oh, you don't have to make confessions here on live for our millions of viewers on the internet. So wait, how does someone become because I noticed that you have the couple of the week or this week's featured couple. How do you become a featured couple on your site?
That is the realm of our webmistress who runs most of the site. Her name is Ursula. She's from Austria. And she's the one who goes through and picks out the profiles of who's going to be, the featured fan guy and fan girl.
So she just does it? She doesn't tell you what the criteria is?
She does it now. She calls me up and she calls me up and says, Dino, the new geeks are up.
All right, but this is an important question here.
Sure.
Is she single?
She is indeed, actually.
Well, you're not, so what,
Ah, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to that lovely lady you're dating?
Darnell.
I know a site for you.
Is there a fee for the site?
Is there a fee for the
There
site?
are two types of membership. It works exactly the same as Match.com. You can join for free. You can create a profile. You can search profiles. But if you want all the bells and whistles, there is a fee for it. But it is, believe it or not, only $9.95 a month. So you're talking about people who have found the geek of their dreams for less than most people blow on lunch. We really, really wanted to make this affordable.
We got a question here from one of our viewers, which is kind of funny, but I'll have to ask it anyways.
Okay.
How do Hello Kitty fans get along with Call of Duty players?
Very well. I have seen at the gaming nights. Particularly if the Hello Kitty fan happens to be cute. So
the great crossing. Got it. And one more from our viewers. Is it such a good idea for the human race to make it easy for the socially awkward, disenfranchised, hyper-intelligent to breed? What will happen when these children grow up? I had to ask it.
They will breed people like Bill Gates. And,
So you're saying it's not a good idea?
No, what I'm saying is geeks run the world.
So it's interesting because we talk about, you know what? We have an awkward pause.